Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 40 of Sustainability Simplified. I'm your host, Zitin, and in today's landmark episode of my podcast, I'd like to talk to you about an amazing human being I came across recently thanks to my yoga instructor. I have with me Gaury Pathare, the founder of Wandering Whites. Welcome, Gaury. It's wonderful to have you on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Zitin. Thank you for having me over.
Shall we dive in?
Sure.
Could you first begin by sharing a little bit about Wandering Whites and how did the idea really come about?
When I look back, Zitin, as a child, I was always fascinated with these hardware stores, these kabaddi wala shops. I used to find them very colorful, very interesting. It used to give me the vibe of these treasure hunt vibe. That kuch mil jayega andar types. Even still, when I go to these junkyards, I'm like a kid in a candy shop, ye bhi de do, wo bhi de do, it's crazy. So I had that liking from childhood, I would say, that madness for these junk, I feel, And so I did my graduation in applied arts, majored in photography. And that is how my wandering journeys with as a photographer started. And in those journeys, I used to travel a lot. And, I used to pick up these river rocks, these pebbles, only because I was so fascinated with these unique shapes and sizes. I used to collect them, that never knowing that one fine day I'll make a wearable art using these two unique individuals. And yeah, and that's the birth story of Wandering Whites, I would say.
Amazing, amazing. I'm also curious to know why the name Wandering Whites? What's the story behind that?
You know what? I always believe in these wise words. Says, all who wander are not lost. Wandering whites is actually means wandering into the vast, limitless canvas of life and creating something timeless along the way.
Or like limitless canvas, like an open canvas of sorts.
Open canvas, open, no boundaries, no boundaries,
No boundaries.
open.
Amazing. Very inspirational. Who would have thought? Yeah, gives a new perspective for sure. Yeah. And then, in your conversations, you've mentioned about wearables, the kind of wearables that you make with sustainable materials. What would be like examples of the kind of wearables you make? If you can share something about that.
Uh, initially we have started creating only statement pieces using these upcycled metal and river rocks. So something like what I'm wearing now, this is a river rock. This is like slate stone, and these are electrical switchways. This is a air conditioned pipe, and these are chains. So this is how it looks like. Even these has these I don't know if it's can you see these are pebbles, and this is a waste from a fabricator. They cut something, they take the positive and throw the negative out, the fabricator. So this is a brass piece, thrown by the fabricator. So that's made me a fingering. uh, so initially I have started creating only these statement pieces. And then later on we have tried incorporating more of sustainable material like upcycled leather, bones, driftwood, then cloth. Then even we incorporate natural fibers like hemp, banana fiber, and we create jewelry with all those. And as a product range, if you would say, we have a range to offer now. Initially, it was only neck pieces, but now we have ear cuffs, earring, finger rings, then brooches, then handcuffs. Mm, Even we are a lot of our collection is very gender fluid as well. And we have like bangles made with air conditioned pipe, like these copper pipes. Then we have earrings made with electronic switch waste. Then the part which goes into the electrical switch, that switch waste. Then we have earrings made with ballpoint pen waste. So earlier people used to, I mean, they used to use brass innards in the ballpoint pen, and now they don't use that. Now they use plastic inside, because the brass is getting expensive and all. And that is how I found them, like in a theli barke. So you can see door hinges, then nut bolts, and all those sorts of things also in my earrings, in my finger rings, in my neck pieces. Even this piece here, this has this screwed piece here. So this is a electronic. I've taken it from an electronic way. So basically, they take the motherboard and they beat everything and separate the plastic and then the metal part, and they try to grab it together, and they make it together, and they just want to give it for melting, and before that I take, because I feel reusing is a better form of recycling, so those kind of pieces, I mean, that is how I use these upcycle metal in my jewelry. We also tried expressing ourselves with two of our installations called the Rising of the Phoenix and I Am Shakti. So the basically the reason behind doing all these is, we try and reduce as much carbon footprint as we can. I do it by creating wearable art using sustainable material. So that is my contribution towards cooling the globe.
Fantastic. Amazing. Such a beautiful concept to learn about. Yeah. That brings me to the last part of our episode. I'd like to conclude with any advice you might like to share for our viewers or our listeners, especially those who really are interested in this space.
I am just a small person to give advice to anybody. I'm trying to do stuff my own way, and try to believe and walk on the path of sustainability as much I can. But you know what? We human beings create a lot of waste every single day, and
Yeah.
a conscious decision to choose a sustainable path is very essential for everyone. I feel it is our sole duty to do so, and I just sometimes you just act and you just show people that this is how you can do something. I mean, this can be one of the approach towards sustainable living, or as an artist or whatever. I mean, I'm contributing what I understand, what I've learned, and what I can create through it. And that is how I am giving back to the society, my own very little ways. I feel, I'm not really doing a big thing, but in my own smallest way. And that much I would say, that people should be little bit conscious, and it will change a lot of things around. You just have to keep your eyes open, and your mind steady and there, so that okay, things are really going wrong. You really do something, a little bit simple act, like using a reusable tissue paper, or something very simple like that, toilet papers, or those things.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm certain that this conversation will motivate many others to start and continue their journey. And thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me over. Seriously, I enjoyed it. This is my first ever podcast with you. So that is equally special for me, I would say, your landmark one and my first one. So thank you for having me over.
Thank you so much for listening and or watching. And if you like this podcast, feel free to share it in your network. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Link is in the caption below. My one key takeaway from this episode was keep your eyes open and your mind steady so that you can identify challenges that you may want to address through your own initiative. I would love to hear your key takeaway from today. Do share it with me on my socials. I'm on at Zitin Munshi. That's at ZITIN MUNSHI. My contact links are also given in the caption below. And thank you so much for watching, listening. This brings us also to the end of season 1. I'd love to hear what you found amazing and not so amazing about season 1. And I look forward to being with you and having you with me in season 2. See you then.